We've been asking the president of the West Indies Cricket Board the tough questions about the fate of the team and the responsibility of his administration. It was only right we discussed the good news too, the West Indies women.
And they're making us proud. I mean, Stephanie Taylor just continues to outdo herself year in, year out. And there's some talk that some pundits are saying we should make her the captain of the West Indies team.
Well, yes, indeed. She seems to be doing very well. She's responded well to that captain's position.
And interestingly, Marissa, I have to give her credit. I mean, Marissa, who's batting, who was in the doldrums, she's relieved of the captaincy. What does she do? She steps up and really gave us a fabulous series against Pakistan.
Yeah,
so
there was an opportunity for her there to feel sorry for herself.
Correct.
Yeah.
And she stepped up and showed exactly what she's made of. And we're very, very happy with the women's team. Now, we still have a ways to go. We do not have a age group tournaments for the ladies. That's something we're working on. We're trying to expand because right now we only have 50 over tournament for the ladies, so we want to have a 50 over and T20. That's what we need to do. And we have no team shirt sponsor for the ladies, and that we're working on that.
Would you like the private sector to get on board more, spend more money in cricket?
That simple answer is yes, but people only sponsor winning teams and products that make them feel proud. And that's what we're working on.
Women, right, prime for the picking.
Prime. The challenge with West Indies women is that they don't get a lot of exposure, television. Even though you may or may not be aware that we do stream all of our development tournaments, events. So when the women were playing against Pakistan, it was live streaming on air on our website. And so we continue to do that. And with the hope that we'll be able to attract a broadcast partner, maybe in the region. And once we're able to do that, I think we'll be able to sell women's cricket for what it's worth.
And finally, I guess, CARICOM. They've been rather critical, to say the least, called for the dissolution of the board, that lost all their faith, and I know that you've had several meetings with them. What are your thoughts on their position, one, and two, could the government do more?
Well, first thing, I don't think it's CARICOM that has called for dissolution of the board. It's a subcommittee report of CARICOM that has called for the dissolution. But when I met with the Prime Minister, he was quick to point out that we should ignore the dissolution and talk about...
Which Prime Minister?
Prime Minister Mitchell, and talk about the other recommendations. So if you notice, our response...
I want to be clear. He was quick to point out
that we should ignore the dissolution for the time being.
Okay.
And talk about the other recommendations. And so if you notice, our response to CARICOM has been, we say no to dissolution, but we agree with looking at the change management, reviewing our entire systems from top to bottom, because that has been our challenge, in that the West Indies Cricket Board is all the 6 territories and the clubs. And in trying to find a long-term solution for West Indies cricket, you can't focus on the Secretariat in Antigua. And that's what we've been doing. And for us to be able to do that, we have to be able to convince the territories to give up whatever they're getting now and what is the benefit of doing so. And so we've agreed that we need to get a change management expert on board to review the systems in the region and then put whatever is best practice, advise us what's best practice, and then help us to implement it.
If you had to describe your leadership in 3 words, what would those be?
Extremely difficult job.
Fair enough.
No, again, how do you lead a region with 16 sovereign states, different governments, ministers, all in different stages of development, each having different needs. Unfortunately, all of them, except maybe one, on an IMF program, and that's your challenge. That's your challenge right there. And my job is to try and manage all of those while at the same time trying to grow the product, West Indies cricket. And you know, we have 10 stadia. We're only getting about 30 days of cricket every year. How do we ensure everybody gets cricket and everybody feels connected to it? So it's an extremely difficult job. We need our prime ministers, our CARICOM leaders, the governments to be more supportive of our schools cricket. You know, we have a program in there, and we want to be able to roll it out with our governments. Again, you know, not everybody's going to be able to make the West Indies teams, but and I like to give this statistic because it puts everything in perspective. In that, since 1928, we've only had 305 Test players, only 305. And I think in a total, we've had maybe 350 persons who've played for the West Indies. So it's not for everybody. It's a very, very distinct, very select. So it's for your best professors, it's for your best lawyers, your best doctors. That's the level at which you're speaking of. And so not everybody will play West Indies, but West Indies cricket product is something that we all should be able to be proud of.
In the Southern Caribbean, there is an impression of you as quite arrogant. What do you think of that?
I am confident. Now, people how would I want to put it? Misinterpret that as arrogance, depending on where you're sitting. I went to a very illustrious high school called Kingston College, purple and white, and I'm representing here this morning.
High schools are a big thing in Jamaica.
Yeah, and we're a very confident bunch.
What's your school
upbringing, the brave may fall but never yield. Fortis cadere so none protest.
So the brave is?
The brave may fall but never yield. So that tells you exactly the person you're dealing with.
Like many West Indians, I am hurt and disillusioned by the current reality of my beloved West Indies, who have fallen from grace since the turn of the century and have yet to turn the corner in 2016. Dave Cameron has been the president, presiding over this misery. But there are different perspectives, as well as many challenges running the WICB and trying to garner the support of all and sundry. Mr. Cameron has been defensive at times, perhaps when humility and accountability were in order. He's taken a lot of knocks and has been famously criticised by greats, including veteran journalist Tony Cozier and former fast bowler Mikey Holding. But simultaneously, under Cameron, we have developed the concept of a professional cricketer, with CPL and professional retainers creating a better pay scale for a wider group of cricketers. Certainly, this is progress. The WICB president has also had the support of the territorial boards for 2 successive elections now. Perhaps there is something to the school motto of his alma mater KC: the brave may fall, but never yield.